Today we are going to make this little stained glass artwork. This is what you're going to do. You're going to take your piece of paper and you're going to put your name and your class code on the back, and then you're going to pick it up and crumple it up into a little ball. And then you're going to unwrinkle it and flatten it out again. And it has all these little wrinkles on it. What you're going to do is you're going to trace the wrinkle lines. You can use any dark color. It does not have to be black. You don't have to trace every single line. The major ones is the best. Sometimes, if you move your paper around, the light shines on it differently and it makes it easier to see the lines. You will end up with a variety of different shapes, big and small. You want to make sure that all of the shapes that you are making are closed. That will make it easier for you to color it. If there is some really teeny tiny spaces, you don't need to worry about those. You can make a decision on what to keep and what not to keep. This looks pretty good. Now I'm just going to go around and double check that all of my shapes are closed shapes and that no lines like this one is just kind of stopping in the middle of the shape. So I'm just going to continue that so it closes a shape. This will make it easier for you to color. So I'm just going to go around and double check that all of my shapes are closed. Here's another one. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick out a color scheme. You're going to choose either a cool color scheme or a warm color scheme. I'm going to do a warm color scheme. So I'm going to pick out these purples and some of these pinks and oranges. Let's see, how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 ought to be enough. And I'm going to choose one cool color as a contrast. So I'm just going to choose one of these colors to start with, and I think I'm going to go with this orange to start with. And I'm going to just start coloring in my shapes. I'm going to fill in the entire shape. I'm not going to leave any white spots. It's not going to look scribbly. It's going to be all evenly colored in. I will not color a shape right next to another shape the same color. Colors cannot touch each other. I'm going to stay with the same color until I have covered areas over the whole page. Using one color at a time and covering the whole page speeds up the process. It'll take you less time to fill this in than if you switched colors every time. The other thing is that when you're coloring with marker, you don't want to put a lot of pressure on it. Markers work best with light pressure because the ink flows better out of them when there's light pressure. When you press hard, it both ruins the tip and prevents the ink from flowing out. It does not change how dark the color will be. Now I have the orange, this light orange covering a little bit on every area of the page. So I'm going to switch colors. I'm going to go with this purple. And I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to color the whole shape so that there is no white showing. I'm going to use light pressure. And I'm going to make sure that I do not color the same color shape right next to that same color. And it's done.